Hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Cavanaugh's Corner. I'm a little distraught right now. I just watched Hush on Netflix, and I kind of creeped out. I'm kind of paranoid. Checking the door to make sure it's locked. One of those movies. Anyway, Hush is a movie that didn't get a theatrical release, which to me is mind-blowing. I can't understand why this movie didn't come out in theaters, but it's from the same director of Oculus, and this movie is the most intense, suspenseful horror movie. I can't even call it a horror movie. It's more just like a suspense film with horror elements, but this is the most intense film I've seen in a while. Much better. It's actually, to be honest with you, it's probably the best horror movie I've seen in at least 3 or 4 years now. And to be honest with you, I loved Insidious 1 and 2, actually. I did not see 3 yet. I do want to see 3. Much more intense than I thought Sinister was. I almost lost the name there for a minute, but the film Sinister with Ethan Hawke. And again, these are all from similar backgrounds of films, but this movie is the most intense thing I've seen in a while. I love this movie. I wouldn't be talking about it on this channel unless I really enjoyed it, but I think it goes to show that you don't need a big budget. You don't need a horror kind of icon like Freddy or Jason to be a very suspenseful film. Hush is about a deaf mute author who is kind of secluded in her house, kind of off in the woods, and she's writing a book, and this psycho guy is basically tormenting her. I don't want to say any more than that. This is a movie with a very minimal plot, but the outcome of the plot is very much in tune with what happens in terms of action during the film. There's not a lot of dialogue in this movie, mainly because the main character is a deaf mute, as I said before. But it does really show some great accessibility features for Apple products. I wish I was kidding, but this movie is probably the best use of Apple products I've seen in a film in many years. As joking as I may about that, it's really true. But it's a very innovative film. I think the fact that it all takes place in kind of one spot, the whole movie, never really leaves this woman's home, is very reminiscent of one of my favorite films of all time, Wait Until Dark, which came out in, I think, 1967. And that film is, to me, one of the most intense films ever made, if not like the most intense film ever made, in my opinion. There is some moments in that movie where you're just on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen. And this movie kind of shares a lot of similarities with that film. And I highly recommend both of them. Definitely see Hush. Hush is definitely a lot nastier in parts. And again, I'm not going to give much away, but there are some really nasty parts in this film where the movie does get pretty bloody and pretty brutal. But it's all in service of the story of the back and forth between this poor lady and this psycho that is trying to do what he's doing for whatever reason. And I think it's even scarier the fact that you really don't know who this guy is. He is really just a random guy, and that adds even more horror to the story. Much like how you don't really know who the Joker is in The Dark Knight, it adds to the fact that this guy is the force of nature, and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what this guy's going to do. And again, this film kind of is like very much intense and not for the faint of heart. And if you really love those kind of movies, this is the perfect movie for you. I'm not going to go into any greater detail, just the fact that this was a shame that this did not come out in theaters. I think it could have been a big hit. I think instead they put out like Sinister 2 in theaters or something, which again I did not see. I enjoyed the first Sinister movie, but this puts that movie to shame in way more ways than one. Again, I can't believe it, but again, I'm giving this movie my highest rating of great. I think it's a great film, and I think you really should see this film. Again, it's on Netflix right now. It's probably out on home video. I'm pretty sure it is. If it's out on home video and you don't have Netflix, rent this thing. Actually, you know what? You might want to just go out and buy it, because it is worth seeing a second time, especially to watch the reactions of people that have not seen it once already. It is a very, very intense film. It is a phenomenal job. Everyone on board did a phenomenal job, and you got to see this thing. It's called Hush, and it's on Netflix right now. Check it out. Again, my name's Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you for coming back to Cavanaugh's Corner. If you like this video, don't be afraid to hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos of mine, you want to see more reviews, then please subscribe to my channel. I beg of you. I love you. I also have a Patreon page now, which is great. So if you did want to donate to the cause, I greatly appreciate it. As always, you want to throw money my way, I'll take it. But again, my name's Andrew Cavanaugh. Thank you again, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.